morning, everyone. What it is, what it was, what it shall be. This is Farmer Joe. I know it's early. I've been up probably almost an hour, but I wanted to share a gardening tip about pruning and how important it is. Because the main thing, and we're going to be talking mainly about the tomato plants today, because tomato plants are basically bushes, so they all spread out and they get really, really thick. And so in order for them to grow better, to produce more fruit, you need to prune them. And because they need a lot of sunlight, they need airflow. If you've got your tomato plants and they're real bushy and clumped up together, you're not going to get the best harvest that you would expect, because they need that kind of stuff. So just like a lot of plants, they have to be pruned, they have to be trained. It's part of caring for them. So what I wanted to show you is, let me turn my camera around. But if you watched yesterday's live, I showed you these tomato plants, and they were really, really thick and full. But one of the things is that when I planted them, transplanted them into this area over here, there were several of them growing together. And that's why they look so full. So what I did today was first kind of pick out the plants that were the healthiest and the strongest, that were looking like they were about to bloom. And I cut the other ones away because they were shorter and not quite as thick. And then, just kind of clipped down at, the lower part of the plants, right down here at the bottom. Because, what I've said before is that you want to clip those and have that stem a little bit bare. Because when you're watering your plants, you can splash dirt and all kinds of pathogens up on the plant. And that's sometimes how they get sick and get blight and some of these other things. But, this is how much I cut away. So you can see there was quite a bit, and they look like they're not going to survive, but trust me, guys, they will rebound. This one in particular has already, it's blooming and it's doing really well, but that's just one plant sitting by itself. The rest of these, it's like 2 or 3 together, and probably as they grow, I will probably cut the other one away, depending on which one is performing better. Now I want to take you over here. Look at this stuff, guys. Look. God, it's so good. But, I've been showing you these tomatoes. This one right here was the first one. No, it was this one over here was the first one to start producing fruit. But when I was over here today, and I said, let me prune these, because they were getting full. And so how do you decide which limbs to trim? It's pretty easy. Something like this, it has nothing, flowers, nothing on it. This particular limb here has got blooms. So I'm not going to cut this one away, even though it's got these up here that are not blooming. And I trimmed quite a bit away from this. This is a, what did I say this thing was? It was a, husky cherry. It is actually a hybrid. So this is a cherry tomato plant, but it's a hybrid. And you can see it's got quite a bit of fruit, but just to show you how much I trimmed away from it. But that's going to help it grow. Because remember, tomato plants need airflow and they need to be able to have plenty of sunlight. And the other thing about pruning, you prune these plants, because these leaves that aren't blooming, the plant is using energy to maintain them. So I clip them away so it can focus just on producing blooms and, of course, growing this great fruit that we're going to enjoy. So, hey, Sandra, appreciate you coming on and checking us out. Appreciate your support. Let me turn my camera around. But, guys, that's my gardening tip for today about pruning your tomato plants if you're growing tomatoes. This also works with some of your other plants. Any of the plants that are kind of like bushes, you want to periodically go in there and prune some of those tree limbs. Yeah, those tree limbs with your plants. Prune some of those limbs away from your vegetables and even other plants as well. so it helps them to grow. Most of the time, they need airflow. They get all congested, and it will hinder their growth. So again, guys, remember our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers. So please like, share, and comment especially if you're checking this out on YouTube. Remember, we're having a giveaway. I think our first giveaway again is going to be when we get to 100 subscribers. Then also we will be going one at 500 and then one at 1,000. So that's pretty much all that I've got for you today. Remember my quote about change. There's 3 components to change. First thing is you make a decision. The second thing is you make a commitment. And then the last thing is you become consistent. If you're consistent to your commitment, to your decision, you will change. All right, we'll see you in the next video. Later.